Alrighty, so we're going to be messing around with the new Kimara and Malek event. So we're going to go over Kimara first, just because he is kind of just the first one here. I think normally when these kind of events come out, because you're going to have to use like two separate sort of exchange materials, like you need those and the horns from Malek. I normally end up doing all 5 of one on one day and then all 5 of the other one on the next day. Obviously, you can split them out however you want to, depending on what kind of rewards you're wanting to get, but that's just always how I end up doing it. So we're going to go over Kimara really quickly. I've already beat it once. I ended up using the one Escanor and pretty much this team with the one Escanor instead. I did swap over to green Escanor just because he's going to have type advantage, and I mean, he'll still end up getting the job done. I feel like the one Escanor is pretty much the easiest unit to just kind of throw on any sort of team, and it just works perfectly almost. So the one thing that you do need to know about this fight specifically is that he does take extra damage from humans, so you want to try to use somewhat of a human team, which is really great because the new Arthur just came out, and obviously he just works really well with humans and stuff like that, so that's great. And you don't want to use units that buff themselves and stuff, because the more buffs you have on your characters, the more damage he deals to your team. I think it's 10% extra damage per buff. So we're just going to kind of, actually, we're going to throw this out first, try to get some of this extra damage out. Pretty much the whole goal is us just trying to get Escanor's ult more than likely. So that way on second phase, we can end up, one-shotting the phase and not having to worry about any of his sort of crazy moves or anything like that. We did end up getting another Escanor card here, so that's kind of nice. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill this phase. I think with Escanor I was able to kill in 2 turns, but that was pretty lucky with just RNG in general. So let me do something like this to go ahead and secure ultimate, because I'm not too worried about him hitting us right here in the first phase. He can be a bit of a problem, but these skills are not the greatest. But yeah, I have Green Jericho on the team. She's not really the greatest for this fight. As you can see, she's not really critting or anything like that, but I wonder if Zaratros would actually be pretty good for this. You may end up being able to use Slater, the red version of Slater, just because he can attack seal or debuff seal and stuff like that, which is really helpful. But this boss specifically makes it to where you can only put one attack seal or debuff seal on at a time, so it may end up kind of messing with you there. So let's see how much the ult does. I don't even have my Escanor level 90. And I actually don't think he's not even 5-star super awakened either. So we're just going to throw out as much damage as we can here. I'll throw up a taunt just in case. So boom. Okay, never mind. He just one-shots it. Which my Escanor is maxed out. He is 6'6", so just be aware of that. But this was on extreme difficulty. If you aren't quite up to par and you can't do extreme, feel free to lower the difficulty a bit. A lot of newer players and stuff like that are coming in with a lot of these festivals and stuff like that. So just be aware, if you can't beat it on the highest difficulty, don't worry about it. You basically just need to work on your gear, and the later game of the later game in general is just fixing up your characters, getting them to level 90, super awakening your characters and stuff like that. So that'll all come with time. If you're a newer player, just play on some of the lower difficulties. It will take longer to farm some of the materials, but it's fine. It won't be that bad. You just have to farm a little bit more than you would if you were going at a higher difficulty. So let's swap over to Malek really quick. I'm going to get a team ready and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is the team that I'm going to be trying to mess around with. I haven't even went into it yet. We're going to test it out as we go in, but we're going to be playing on the hardest difficulty. The big thing here is that he is going to, if he loses an ally or he kills an enemy, so someone on your team dies, or if one of his minions dies, he is going to gain 50% pierce rate, which is pretty, that's kind of a lot, so he'll be able to do more damage. And at the end of your turns, for every turn for up to 5 stacks, I think you lose 10% attack stats or 10% of attack and 10% of defense. So I thought it might be interesting to use Bon just for the fact that he uses his HP and stuff as a method of attack. So we're just going to kind of throw some cards out here. Obviously, this is, more of an up-to-date look at this fight. Obviously, the fight is kind of old. I looked at the old video that I did for the first time that he came around, and that was back in December of 2020. So Back then, I was using Blue Demon Meliodas and a Lilia team, so just sort of like the regular Pierce rate comp. Honestly, I think anything that's AoE that would try to eliminate him in general, I guess you could technically try to go for just single target and try to burst him down specifically. I don't know if there would be a real problem with that or not. So let's try to go for something like this. And this will actually give us Bond's ult for the next turn here. He's only got 2 ultimate move gauge orbs, so this may end up backfiring a bit. Pretty decent damage. We killed 1 ad. The other one is still alive though, so that's alright. He's pretty low on HP. I remember specifically wanting to try to rush your ultimates and stuff like that, so that way on second phase you could burst him down, because if I'm not mistaken, he has a mechanic where on second phase he tanks, or like you take down the health bar once and then he refills up to half and then you have to take it down again. So I think you want to have at least 2 ults ready to go. So we've got Escanor's ult here. He's got a really high amount of ult gauge, so I think we should be able to take him out with a Bond card here. We can try to get rid of some of this stuff in hand. This one I think is the harder of the 2 fights, just because of the way that it works out more than often. He ends up doing a pretty large amount of damage, so let's see. This should kill, hopefully. Yeah. Alright, pretty good damage there. Obviously, if you don't have, you know, Bond, just go for maybe Blue Demon Meliodas if you have him. They did end up giving him out for free, which I know a lot of newer players might not have been around whenever they were doing that, but we'll see how it goes. So let's just go for, I think, Escanor's ult. We'll go for this, and then maybe that. So if I'm not mistaken, this should kill. Okay, but it doesn't. It stops it short. And then, okay, never mind. So he almost killed, and then he didn't kill, or Arthur had to use his ult to push the passive to activate. So he gained back half of his HP bar, and then unfortunately Bond was not able to finish it up there, which it looks like we might end up losing a character here. Yeah, we lost 2 characters actually, so not the best, but it is what it is. Really can't do anything about it. So he has 3 ult gauge here. I think we just try to rush Bond's ult if possible, but this may kill. Yeah, okay. So this one's pretty rough. You kind of need some heavy hitting ults and stuff like that going into second phase, because he does start doing a lot of damage. You just want to try to burst him down as much as possible. Obviously, if you have the one Escanor, he'll probably, and you have him at a decent ult level, he'll definitely like take out that second phase health bar a lot faster, and then you can kind of like make him activate his passive. He'll regain half HP, and then you just burst him down again with your remaining cards and stuff like that. You can definitely do it all in one good turn, but obviously the setup and stuff like that involved is dependent on how well your first like phase goes. So that's pretty much the fight. It's honestly not too crazy. Extreme is probably harder, I would say, on Malek over Kimara. But that's just personal opinion. I just think Kimara is not really all that bad. But yeah, that's honestly pretty much it. Honestly, you get, you know, clear rewards and stuff like that, which is really nice. And then obviously the exchange shop and stuff has a pretty good amount of rewards. This specifically is just a free outfit for Bond that just came out. So if you do have Bond, or you're wanting to get his cosmetics and stuff like that, feel free to pick that up, because it is, you know, free. You just have to grind this event out and get the materials for it. So pretty cool. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to go over. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video.